So what do you guys think about this?
In order for you to touch this, I'm gonna need some money. For you to get my number, I'm gonna need some money. And if you want to lay with me, I'm gonna need some money. Before we can go on a date, I need some money.
Well,
I need some money.
Okay. Here's the reality of it. Men pursue women. You only want something because you ain't got it, right? And you only pursue something because you want it. People pursue that which is of value. Men come to take. Women have resources. Women are a resource to men. I don't know any resource that's free. I don't know no food that's free. I don't know no success story that was obtained for free. I don't know none of this equipment that y'all got for free. None of it. Women are just like this equipment, right? Men compare women to cars all the time. Last time I looked, you had to purchase a car, right? So the only thing that men actually have to bring to the table is finances. They want something from you. It's better that you charge them for it as opposed to giving it away under some idea of love. So, baby, send him your cash.
You a hoe. You know you a hoe.
How did you know? Because she told you so. So let me ask you a question. So
What the fuck was that?
This is another. I don't like the words that were coming out her mouth. But let me ask you a question. So I look at it this way. I don't look at it as in a form. I think it's what Mistaken said. I don't look at it as in a form of a person who pays you. But I do look at it in a form of, is he offering you a commitment? Is he offering you an engagement? Is he offering you his last name, the security that comes along with it? I do believe that before you open your legs, just like, there needs to be something there instead of just getting not money, not, monetary, but something needs to be there in exchange. Something real needs to be there in exchange for your body. That's just me. Go ahead, Enos.
We've heard so many times on YouTube these men talk about, like, it's so hard to distinguish between these 304s and good women, right? I think that video is a prime example as to what these men were talking about, because I didn't really understand how bad it was until that video, right? I think that is so atrocious. And like,
I was amazed at her voice. Like, it just didn't seem her voice would become out that hard.
I mean, some people have a raspy voice, right? Some people find that sexy. I think that's fine. But it's like it's her statement that she made in the middle of it, that like all men bring to the table is finances.
True.
The same way that like we accuse these men of not understanding the intrinsic value of a woman, like this is proof that women too have lost the intrinsic value of a man. Outside of just protecting, outside of just providing, like that companionship, that deeper connection as human beings. Like, I don't know if we're doomed or what's going on, but it seems to be like a really lost art to just find value in human beings. Like this idea of selling your phone number. I don't understand. Right. And then here's the other problem to that, right? If we're going to have this conversation honestly, because there are women out there who do move like that.
This new generation.
Right. If that man's really got his money like that, he doesn't value money in the same way that you do. So what you're selling for pennies on the dollar based on how he evaluates finances, you think you're really doing something with that man, and he's still toying with you because he's just got it like that. It's a setup for failure. And I think that does such a disservice, especially to younger women who haven't had quite as much life experience, to be like, okay, he's spending X amount on me. That means something. That means he cares about me. No, he just has more money than the guys your age. And so to him, it's nothing. He's already budgeted and calculated that money is like to throw away for whatever, right? There's no correlation to like the amount he's spending to how much he cares about you. And if we're going to take it to another deeper level, there are men who will go out there and get that money, even if they don't have it, to spend on you just to get what they want. And that's not marriage or a relationship. So like this idea of exchanging so transactionally, I think it's a recipe for failure.
Do you think she's the opposite of the guy that we just saw on the other end?
I
I
think they're
agree. I think they would have hit it off. Because for both of them, it was transactional. The only difference is he was taking her on dates, but she said that she needed somebody to cash app her. So I don't know if she would have seen that as the same in terms of him not giving her money directly. However, he was giving her time and spending money. But in my mindset, I'm seeing both of those things as a exchange for services.
Anybody else?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that was stupid. I'm sorry, that was one of the dumbest things. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of these younger women think like
Right.
this stuff.
It's the same notion that there was a time where people thought if you sprained your ankle, that because you put some heat on it and then some Epsom salt, and the Epsom salt felt good, they thought that because it felt good that was working, when all along it was actually doing them more damage. So it's the same notion because they think it is. Well, one of the issues that we have a lot of times is that when we get on the internet, you hear so many different talking points here and there, but nobody's actually trying to get with people that have done it. Like, it's not about just myself, but what about other married couples that's been married 15x plus years? But no, we getting advice from people like that lady. I mean, I don't think obvious.
She's looking for a relationship. I think she's looking for something.
No, right. So the thing is just like what the lady we just got done saying. That's why the kids that we mentor right now from the ages of 12 all the way into their 20s, the ones that we mentor now, we put huge emphasis on relationships. That money talk and all this all that stuff is not even one of our biggest things that we even talk about, because we focus so much on what it's like to be in a relationship, how wonderful it is. And, we even take them to the extent to where I take them on like a career day where I'll bring them up to the facilities and I get to show them people that are on hospice and all that. I show them all aspects, people that are, they're at the end of their life, they have family with them versus the ones that are dying alone. And I said, so when it comes to that, nobody is talking about money. Nobody's talking about their cars. They're talking about, well, this person, well, what happened? What about him, Mr. Ty? Well, the type of guy that he did X, Y, and Z. So his kids don't even want to come and see him. This person is dying alone. So that's what I'm saying. I get to the matter of the hard things that really matter in life. And you are not going to find nothing better going through this journey in life than you would out of having a relationship and with family. No amount of money, no amount of material things.
And then you just ghost me.
Dang.
I think
I'm just messing.
I think I made a mistake and did that. Sorry.
No, what I'm saying is that there's no amount of money, no amount of cars, no amount of any of those things is ever going to be able to equate to the experiences and things that you would get out of a relationship and having a family. None. It would cannot even close.
What's so funny? We needed you when we were talking about the table comment earlier, because that was awesome. The companionship was needed, in life later on, because you see it from a medical standpoint as a medical person now.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else want to add?
Now you got to put that chick out of the car at about 2 dates. You don't get.
I'm like hurting for cash. I'm like, I could have really used that one.
Oh, why does they keep doing that? I haven't even touched the thing. Is that you mistaken? Oh, it reminds me of they need to get together.
Like that was probably we're all dumber for listening to it. That was quite idiotic. Like she made a decent point at the very beginning by saying that men kind of see women as resources, but not in the way she said it. Not like like, oh yeah, you're that equipment over there. No. If you're the right woman, we're going to use you to benefit our lives, to help benefit your life. Like it all works in tandem. It's not one where it's, oh man, I'm just gonna use this girl. So she needs her view. I need to get out of it what I can, because all he's gonna do is use me. Not that way. Like that's not the way we actually view it necessarily. That's where she was way off. I was like, man, yep. 2 dates, put her out the car. If she ain't
But
gave it
I
to you,
think that
put her
was
out the car.
exactly what she was saying. I think she was expressing the same views that the guy had in the other video, just from a woman's perspective, in a sense of saying, like how I've heard, that saying about why buy the cow when you could get the milk for free. I think what she's saying in this situation is, if you're gonna get this milk, you ain't getting it for free. So I think in that sense, that's what she was saying. Now, I don't agree with it, because I just think everything sounds so transactional. If I take you on 3 dates, you got to give me the cookies. If I go on, if I'm going to give you my time, then you got to give me your money. Like, all of that sounds very transactional. There is nothing about being in each other's company to form some kind of relationship. And
That-
that to
But do you
me
think
no
But do you
sense.
think the problem is, but let's just be honest. I think that the great thing about these two are they're honest about how they feel about the situation. The problem is when one person is going in as transactional and the other person is really dating with intent. And those two get together, and then one person is like, what just happened? And so that person feels like they've been manipulated, when in actuality, there are tons of people out here who are doing exactly what those two are doing. They just need to be with each other and stop involving people who are not trying to do that, who are looking for relationships.
So I don't know that I agree with that, right? I think that is true for the second video, but I don't think that's true for the first one. For that girl to say, I thought we were together, he was not honest with her about him being transactional.
I'm
Right.
talking
That's what
about
I'm
from
saying.
the
No, this
men's.
was,
I'm
oh, you
talking
talking
from
about
the
me?
men's point in that video, not the girl's point in the previous video. I'm talking strictly from the man's point in that video. He saw that as transactional because he's like, "Yo, I took you on
Right.
10 dates." So
No,
I
no, I think we can agree that he saw it that way, but I was
Mhm.
addressing what Shan was saying about like the upfront honesty about it being transactional. But
Gotcha.
here's the other thing, right? Is like,
So which part are you talking about? What did I say? Just to understand.
maybe I misunderstood you, but it sounded like you were saying that like both those people were being upfront about seeing things as transactional.
No. What I'm saying is what happens is they're being upfront as far as these videos are concerned. They're not being upfront with their mates. If those two were to get together, it would be great. But the problem is the person who thinks transactional is getting with the person who's thinking love, and they're not that's not being communicated. And so now one feels like they're being manipulated, So that's what I was saying.
Got it. Sorry, that's my misunderstanding. Yeah, I 100% can agree with that statement, right? And I think that's unfortunately the real world, and I think that's why vetting is so important, and I think that's also why women keeping their knees together is so important, because as much as we can praise honesty, honesty does not necessarily mean having moral character, right? Because you can be upfront about wanting to be very transactional, but if that's not the same value system that the other person possesses, that's not necessarily a good thing, right? Yes, you are being honest. Thank you for allowing me to have the choice to stay or go. However, like, I don't think that that makes what they're communicating necessarily good. I think sometimes people mix that part up too, if that makes any sense.
Or when they say, "Oh," when she asks, "Well, are you looking to be in a relationship?" and he says yes, but then he's thinking, "But not with you," but he doesn't say that part. So she believes he's talking about with her.